Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great day. Thanks again for joining me. Today I'm sharing a Try It Out Tuesday tutorial on Monday. Tomorrow I have a design team project to share with you, so I didn't want them to run together. But today I'm using this new to me stamp set. It's called Up Buttercup from the Ink Road Stamps. I've never used their stamps before, but this really caught my eye when I saw it. I love the sentiment in it. I have 2 young daughters and I tell them this all the time, and they in return tell me it all the time too. So I love the Up Buttercup. But we're going to make a card using this. So we're going to start off by using some C&CT XL watercolor cardstock. I just placed it in my mini Misti. There's 2 sides, a rougher side and then a smoother side. I flipped it over to the smooth side. But I'm inking up my sentiment with some VersaFine ink. I'm going to stamp it really well so it's a nice and crisp image. Once we have that done, it is on the larger side, and so I decided to take a circle die that will fit that perfectly, and I'm just going to run that through my die cut machine. The nice thing about today's card is you don't necessarily have to have this stamp set. You can use any large sentiment that you have and any floral images that you have. But I die cut that out, and now I'm going to create a panel using the largest stitch rectangle die that I have. And I'm using C&CT XL watercolor cardstock for this too. And I also cut out the same size piece of vellum. That's going to go right on top eventually. So let's work on our background. I'm going to take some fossilized amber distress oxide ink, and there's 2 floral images. I'm going to use both of them. And I'm just going to cover the entire background with these beautiful buttercups. I didn't realize I did this, but when I finished, I kind of created a gradient where it was heavy on the very top and then it kind of faded lighter down to the bottom. But it worked out just great. While I have my ink out, I'm going to stamp both of the buttercups on a scratch piece of C&CT XL watercolor cardstock. And now we're going to just take my water brush and add a little bit of color to each one of those flowers. Since there was a concentrated color in the center, it was real easy to blend out. And I really like this effect. Okay, once we have that done, I have that one buttercup there that just didn't stamp very well in the center. So I'm going to ink up that same stamp. And then I'm going to add my Distress Oxide ink, the fossilized amber, and then I took a baby wipe and wiped around the edges and just stamped that right in the center again. And it was a quick and easy fix, and I really like that. I'm just going to finish off my 2 little single flowers. Okay, now I'm going to take my scissors and fussy cut those 2 flowers out. I did leave a little bit of a white border around them. Now, to give these flowers a little bit of depth and dimension, I'm taking a real fine line black fine tip marker. You want to make sure that your panel is dry when you do this, because you don't want your little dots to bleed out. But just adding little dots to the center of the flowers really makes them stand out, and I like this effect. And I did that to the 2 individual flowers also. So that's my background panel. Next, I'm going to take my sentiment, kind of figure out where I'm going to place it. And I always like to do this when it's a circle, especially on the larger circles. I'll take my scissors and just trim off a little bit off the edge. And then once I have that done, I'm going to take my vellum and just using my tape runner, I'm going to adhere that to the very top of my panel. This is kind of going to dull down my background. I really wanted the sentiment to be the star of the show here. I'm going to add some foam tape behind here. We're going to pop that up and place that on the panel. It's going to go on the right lower corner. And then once I have it placed down, I'm going to lift it up just a bit. Nice thing about 3M foam tape and vellum, it's easy to peel up. Okay, now I'll flip my little flowers over and we're going to add some foam squares behind here. Just going to arrange them where I think they look the nicest. And I thought it needed a little bit of greenery. So I'm going to take that same scratch piece of watercolor cardstock and using some more Distress Oxide ink. This is peeled paint. I'm going to add some color to that and then spray it with some water to activate that ink. And then I'm just going to take my towel and dab off any extra water. Now I'm going to use some, this is a Foliage 1 die set from Paper Smooches. I'm going to use one of the leaf flourishes in here, and I'm just going to die cut that out. And I'm going to trim that into 2 pieces. And then now I'm going to stick down my flowers. I didn't stick down them all the way first because I want to tuck my leaves underneath them. And then once I have my placement all set, then I'll really press down so they stick and don't move. But there we have it. I did actually die cut out one more of the leaves with that extra watercolor cardstock. But I'm going to add a little bit of dimension to my leaves by placing some foam squares underneath here. That way they're nice and level and pretty. Now, to give my vellum a little bit more stability, I'm going to go underneath my leaves with some more glue. That's just going to help my vellum stay flat. I'll take this panel and place this on an A2 size card base. It's going to be 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. It's going to go right in the center. I'm just going to double check that I have it opening on the right end. There's been a few times where I've actually put my panel on upside down. But I'm going to add just a couple of these. These are sparkling clear jewels from Cat Scrappiness. They are beautiful. My goodness. There's a multiple of sizes in here. And actually everything I use today, I think I got at Cat Scrappiness. But I'll leave links below for you guys if you want to check it out. But I just added 2 to the center of the flowers, just using my glue to adhere them. And that is my card for today. I think it turned out so pretty, and you can see how the vellum kind of softens that background. I like that. But this is my Try It Out Tuesday on Monday. I hope your day is going well. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Love hearing your comments. Let me know what you think. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.